Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? Hope that you are having an amazing day. I'm Muhammad Naeem Amin Bhatti, and today the topic of our discussion is a novel by Ernest Hemingway, The Sun Also Rises. Today we are going to discuss four different points in this lecture. The very first one is the summary from chapter number 1 to 9. That is the basic purpose of our lecture, to analyze first 9 chapters of The Sun Also Rises. The second point is the critical commentary on above given chapters. We will make an analysis on different points and point of views given in this novel, and also the textual analysis at third chapter. That analysis will give us the different texts point of views which are discussed in this novel The Sun Also Rises. The fourth point is important quotes and their explanation. The quotes will be taken from the chapter number 1 to chapter number 9. So let's have a start with the further discussion on the summary. The first point of the summary is the discussion from chapter number 1, 2 and 3. We will discuss the different happenings which are given in these 3 chapters, the basic informations, the narrative, and also the informations about the World War I will be discussed here. The very first start of the novel is with a character from the novel, Jake Barnes. Jake Barnes is basically a war veteran of World War I. This is a novel which captures all the details related to World War I. The veterans were those people who escaped from World War I's disastrous movements, and now they are spreading in different countries of the world. Basically, The Sun Also Rises open with the narrator Jack Barnes. Jack Barnes is basically a journalist in Paris, and in the start of novel he is delivering a brief biographical sketch of his friend Robert Cohen. He and Robert Cohen used to make their journey together. They used to enjoy together. They used to go bar and clubs together. They are very good friends of each other. And Jake is a veteran of World War I, as I have mentioned earlier. But in the start of novel, he is describing us the character sketch of Cohen. Cohen is basically an American expatriate, although he is not a war veteran, but he is basically a Jewish by religion. Basically, he is a rich writer who has composed his own novel, and he has written his own novel due to different circumstances of war. His topic of discussion is war, but he was not a veteran of war. He doesn't know what the ruthlessness and the dangerous and disastrous effects of war which are posed on the people of different generation, which are called the lost generation. We will also discuss the concept of lost generation in this lecture. He lives in Paris with his girlfriend Frances Klein. So this is the description of Jake and Cohen. Jake is basically a war-wounded person at the point of novel who was aided by Lady Brett Ashley, and she was very sympathetic to him, and she was also in love with him, but there are some circumstances due to which their love can't be cultivated at that point. At the second slide, we have the character sketch of Cohen, who tries to convince Jake to go with him to South America. Both of them are basically the vagabonds who used to wander all around the world. They used to travel at different sea coasts. They used to travel at different parts of the world. And that night, Cohen and Jake goes to the nightclub to dance. There they were using the alcohol also. So there was a lady, Brett Ashley, who was a divorced socialite, and she was a very broad-minded lady. She was representing the contemporary American women at that time, and she fell in love with Jack, and she recognized him as her lover. She told to Jack that she is very much impressed by his lifestyle, and Jack was convinced with her statement. The Brett is a free-spirited and independent woman. She used to go at nightclubs, at bars, only to fulfillment of her desires. She can be very selfish at different times, and she asks Jake that they might be in love, but there is a problem with Jake that during the war, Jack was made impotent. He was not able to fulfill the sexual desires of Brett, and he told her all the things about that. She and Jake met in England during World War I when Brett treated Jack for a war wound. And after that wounding, which is I think the major theme and major point of Hemingway's novel, because in another novel, A Farewell to Arm, we have discussed about the wound of the main character, and here in this novel the sun also rises. There is also a postulate about the war wound. It represents the security risk of the people at that time, that how much risk was for them at different levels, because war was beginning in different parts of the world. And in World War I, there was a lot of disastrous conditions, and the character represents those disastrous conditions. So war wound here is a symbolic representation of the war, the disastrous war, the destruction which was done by the war. And Brett treated in a very kind way to Jake, but because they were in a relationship and that was not a productive relationship, that's why they separated at the point of the novel. And when Brett comes to know about the true condition of Jake, she, no doubt that she loved to Jake, but she warns him that she was unwilling to give up sex, and she hints him about that she will not commit to a relationship with him, but still she loves him. And she's a kind of lady to make love relation with 2 or 3 people at a time. So let's have a bird eye view on summary of chapter number 4, 5 and 6. Jack's injury, as we have discussed earlier, rendered him impotent. He was not able to fulfill his sexual desires. So there is no doubt that Brett loves Jack very much, which represented the love scenes of the contemporary society that the liberal Americans at that time were on a peak of their love and sexual affairs. She hints that she is unwilling to give up sex, and she told him to commit a relationship, that she doesn't want to have any relationship with him. Here he means Jake. And the next morning, Jake and Cohen have lunch. Because they are both friends, so they have a lot of discussion about Lady Brett Ashley. And after talking about the Brett Ashley, Jake told Cohen that Brett is going to marry with Mike Campbell. Cohen, who is basically also an admirer and lover of Brett, finds it a very dangerous type of news, that if she is going to be married with Mike Campbell, then what will become of Cohen? So Cohen thought that he is in love with the Brett, but he still not have committed any type of commitment or engagement with Brett. But when he hear that Brett is going to be married with Mike Campbell, he decide to go towards Brett and tell her all the circumstances, all the things that he felt for her. So Cohen gets angry with Jake, who tells him about the truth. And when Jake tells him that Brett plans to marry Mike Campbell, a heavy drinking Scottish war veteran, Cohen found it a very topicalized type and a very defeated like or a war veteran like feeling in his mind and heart. So he thinks that it is Cohen's insult if Brett Ashley marries with Scottish war veteran whose name is given here as Mike Campbell. So the story develops, and here we come to know about that night when Brett came toward Jake and tells him that she is leaving for San Sebastian, which is located in Spain, and it is very famous for different type of fair. It is very famous for the basic ideological Spanish fairs like bullfighting, like other gambling and bars, nightclubs, etc. Saying it will be easier on both of them to be apart, because she was now no more interested in Mr. Jake, but still she thought that because he is her admirer and he is her lover, so she thought that it would be a decent sort of relationship if they live apart, because Jake was not that type of person the lady Brett want. So the several weeks passed in that situation. During that time, Mr. Jake remained in his office using different official works. He is basically, as mentioned earlier, he is an editor and novelist also, but he is preparing himself to develop his novel. He is finding a publisher to for the fulfillment and for the publishing of his novel, and he doesn't had enough money to publish his novel. But on the other hand, Mr. Cohen is a recognized novelist. So that is the basic difference between these two friends. Now, during these several weeks, during these many weeks, Cohen was actually with the Brett, but unknowingly he doesn't told it to Jake or anybody else. While Brett and Cohen are both traveling outside of Paris, they lived in Paris for several days, for several weeks, and there was a relationship between Cohen and Brett. And because Cohen was Jack's friend, and the friend of Jack was another person also, Bill Gorton, who arrives in Paris, and he watches that Brett and Cohen were all together with each other, and they were spending days and night there in Paris. So when Bill and Jake make a plan to leave for Spain to do some fishing, they had a plan to go around the globe and travel a lot to enjoy their lives. And also they want to attend the Fiesta at Pamplona. Fiesta is basically a type of feast, a type of dinner, which was they were having an invitation for them. And Jack makes plans to meet Cohen on the way to Pamplona. So Jack meets with the Brett, who has returned from San Sebastian. With her is Mike, her fiance. They three of them sat in a bar and have a nice sort of chatting. Basically, Jack don't have any type of interest in Brett Ashley in that way, because she had already a fiance. But here, the point of view of Ernest Hemingway fulfills that to some sort or up to some extent. Jack himself wants to accept Brett Ashley in any form, but they ask if they may join Jack in Spain. They invite him to Spain, and Jack agreed for that purpose, and he says that he will be there at their invitation point, because there will be a bullfighting, there will be lot of fun. They will live there for several nights and days. They will enjoy there all together, because Brett Ashley is a type of personality that I have mentioned earlier. And when Mike leaves for a moment, Brett reveals to Jake that she and Cohen were in Saint Sebastian together. So that is a revelation of a secret on Mr. Jake, that his close friend Cohen was with his girlfriend Brett Ashley in Saint Sebastian, and he doesn't know anything about that. And Brett reveals this secret to Jake. At that point, Jake was very disappointed. He thought that this is not fair for a person to cheat his friend, though what were the circumstances. That is true that Jake couldn't do anything with Brett. Jake couldn't fulfill the desires of Brett. Jake couldn't have a relationship with Brett, but still she was his girlfriend. So that's why it was a point that Jake started to hate with Cohen, because Cohen was a lawyer. He couldn't have a secret. He couldn't told him that his girlfriend was with him. So that's why Jake find it very immoral. But on the other hand, if we analyze the personality of Brett, she also seduces the different type of male to fulfill her desires. So that's why she is a basic conflicting point. She is a point of conflict between Cohen and Mr. Jake. So that's why Jake thinks it immoral, and he don't even ask with the Cohen, but he blindly believes on the words of Miss Brett Ashley. So Bill and Jake board aboard a train, and they go to Bayonne, where they plan to meet with Cohen. And Bill, because he is a fast friend of Jake, as the Cohen is, and there they gather, all of them. They have a get together. They have nice feast there, and when they arrive in Bayonne, Cohen is waiting at the station. Here the chapter number 9 ends with different points, and because we have to deal with only the first 9 chapters, and the remaining chapters will be delivered in the next video lecture, inshallah. So let's have the next point of our lecture, which is the critical commentary. In this part we will critically analyze the different points which reveals the truth, which reveals the modifications and the continuous panorama of this novel to us. Jake begins his story by talking about someone else, Robert Cohen. Why wouldn't the Jake is going to tell us about him? It means that he is very possessive to talk about his own friend. Not only because he has done bad to him, but also because he is some kind of cheater to him, Robert Cohen. And he says that I don't like him because he has not revealed the secret to me. I don't like Mr. Cohen. He reveals his observer's mentality. Jack is basically the narrator and the protagonist of this novel, and he says a lot about the mindset and mentality of the contemporary Americans at that time. Jake frequently chooses to speak about his other people. He doesn't speak much about himself. He used to speak about the other people because he doesn't have such interest in himself. The reason I have mentioned earlier to you that why he doesn't have much interest in himself. So we learn that Jake doesn't respect Cohen. He abuses Cohen. He says that Cohen is a cheater, and the reason has been told to you already, that Cohen was with his girlfriend, the girlfriend of Jake, Brett Ashley. So he find it immoral, but he doesn't know, still he doesn't know the truth that the Brett Ashley is such kind of lady who can seduce any male with her charms. So Cohen's unhappiness stems from his personality and lifestyle, because he is a rich Jewish writer, and he used to enjoy the life very much, but still he is discontented with his life. Still he is unhappiness, he is not happy with his life. So that's why he used to drink alcohol, used to go at bars, used to go at different such sites. From there he can get some kind of pleasure to get away or to run away from the responsibilities of his life. Jack demonstrates an ability to identify different problems. He is basically the demonstrator of the problem solving person, that he has an inability in his mind to solve the problem. He is not able to solve his own problem, so that's why uh, he like to talk about the problem of different people, and used to have satisfaction with this point, that if such kind of people have different and such like problems than what he has destroyed with him. The next point about this discussion is Jake never directly refers to the aimlessness and purposelessness, that he is still an aimless person in this world because he cannot reproduce his own offsprings due to the war wounds, and he is an impotent, though he has the desires but he could not fulfill them. Jake and his friends all follow the same schedule as the Jake does. Jake goes to bar and his friends also goes to bar. Jake used to drink alcohol and his friends also used to drink alcohol. Jake used to have different type of fun in his life, and the other friends also have used to have the fun in their life. So Hemingway spares here an unadornable prose style, that he has intermingled his prose style with the contemporary social norms and conditions. He has given us basic information, the basic characteristic and feature of that time of the society of United States of America. So his dialogue is brief as well. His characters usually speaks the short and brief dialogues, but they have a number of hidden meanings in them. They have a lot of meaning in them, and they discuss the different point of view with respect to the different characters. For example, Jake has his own point of view, Cohen has his own point of view, Brett Ashley has her own point of view. So the characters seldom speak more than the sentence or two at a time. We can infer much about Jake, that Jake is basically a kind of person which is not harmful for the others. He is a harmless type of person. Now we move towards the critical commentary of chapter number 4, 5 and 6, that soldiers suffering from the shell shock. They discuss the different soldiers who had bear the mark on their body of the marks of shell shock, the marks of bullets, the marks of other war veterans specifically. Jake's anxiety regarding his masculinity, that he is not able to be a productive male, and Brett makes Jake more anxious when she at the number of occasion, at the number of times she discussed this topic again and again with Jake. So Jake was very disappointed after hearing her voice on this topic. So he used to tell Brett that kindly don't talk about that point of view, or don't talk about that topic. So what Jake actually says is differs sharply from his words, that he is a kind of person that he has the words in some other direction but his actions in his other direction. It reveals the immaturity of his character, that like a child he says something else but does something else. So Jake does not like Cohen very much either. He is quite different. Jake isn't basically hates Cohen. He doesn't like to Cohen very much. The reason I have mentioned to you earlier. And Harvey insults Cohen, calling him a moron. Harvey is basically a gambler at there, and he says that Cohen was basically a person who deceives anyone, who can deceive anyone. If he can deceive his best friend, he can deceive any person on this planet. So that's why we have an idea about the Cohen's personality, that he is not sincere with his friends. Brett is a victim of lost generations. I have mentioned earlier the concept of lost generation, that After World War One, the people, the veterans of World War One were spread in all along with the worlds, in the area of the worlds. They spread in all around the world. So that's why they were called the lost generations. They uh, do travel from their native lands towards the abroad land. So that's why they were called the lost generation, the veteran of the First World War. Jake expressing the emotions only indirectly. He doesn't strikes his emotion with his narration, but indirectly he strikes his emotion. He used to talk about his emotional speeches. And Harvey Stone stands in a stark contrast to Jake. Harvey is basically a gambler, and Jake is not a gambler, but both are alcohol. Harvey is pretty much sort of person who used to do different type of gamblings in the nightclubs and in the bars during having the continuous sips of alcohol. So Jack resembles Cohen in that way, that if Harvey contrasts to the Jake, then Jake resembles Cohen in that way. In what way? That they both are searching for love and alcohol. That was the basic purpose of the gents at that time in American society, or I would rather say that it is nowadays also a basic purpose of the American people, the two main things, the love and alcohol. So if we analyze all the characters of this novel, then we come to know that all the characters are the victims of these two things, love and alcohol. They want in their life, in you can say that in a number of occasions, that the love and alcohol are necessary for them. Now we move towards the critical commentary of chapter number 7, 8 and 9. Here in these three chapters we come to know about the values of things, that a person is not given such a value up to some extent, but the things has been given the value that is excessively romantic. The text here is excessively romantic, unrealistic brand of love. All the essential things which can be done in love has been described in these three chapters. Jake and Bill look for a restaurant. They see Brett get out of a cab. When they were standing out of a restaurant, they watch their Lady Brett Ashley and issues that the haunt the wake of the Great War, because all the issues revolve around the war. So this is some kind of war for Mr. Jake to see his girlfriend going from from person to person and seducing the different persons in the novel. So that is an inside great war for Mr. Jake here. So the occasions and the different type of circumstances resembles with the post World War effects and the aftermaths of the war. So Jack, not to be daunted by how much he needs to drink. At that time he drinks a lot when he sees that his girlfriend Miss Brett is with another male, and she is coming out of cab and having his seducers, his admirers with her. So that's why he needs to drink, and he drinks there very much. And then Jake and Bill are bothered by the Catholics on the train when they start their journey. So ironically we learn that Jake is himself Catholic, but they were very much bothered by the Catholics, and Jake and Bill are hostile to Cohen after his dalliance with Brett, when they come to know that it is habitual things for Brett to change different male persons, to change the boyfriends with the passage of time. So they goes towards Cohen, and Jake has a friendship again with Cohen, and Cohen, though he is a cheater, but still he finds Cohen that he is a good person for him. Cohen is not a veteran of World War One, it has been mentioned earlier. And here the main thing in these all of 9 chapters is that the belief in God and in the moral order. The characters here which has been described, except from Jake, other characters doesn't have any kind of belief in Lord or God. So they negate the existence of God, they challenge the existence of God. And on the other hand, the moral order is not to some sort to which it could be called a decent one. It is a demoralized type of society from United States of America that they have no ethics. She is basically going to change boyfriend after boyfriend, and Jake couldn't do anything about that. Even Jake's own friend Cohen couldn't be separated from her, couldn't be saved from her charms. So these 2 points gives us a overview of the society of America at that time. Now we discuss the textual analysis about the Jake. This analysis gives us the description when Jake is talking about his own friend Robert Cohen was once middleweight boxing champion of Princeton, being treated as a Jew at Princeton. Princeton is an area where he was a middleweight boxing champion, and the brief biographical sketch of Robert Cohen is there through the words of Mr. Jake. And Cohen suffers from the feeling of inferiority complex. What he suffers from the feeling of inferiority complex is that basically having the friend of being the friend of Jake, he finds that Jake is just useless, but Lady Brett just loves Brett Ashley, just loves with him. Then why don't she love with Cohen or himself? So that's why he was a victim of inferiority complex. Jake's hostile and skeptical attitude towards Cohen, and he at a time abuses Cohen and used to told him that he has not done well to him. He told him that it would be easy for Cohen to sleep with Brett, but it is not easy for Jake to bear all these things and to listen all this truth. Cohen, in his relationship with Jake and Brett, with Jake he is basically a good friend of Jake, but with Brett he is a boyfriend of Brett, and he has countless weeks there in the Paris with Brett, and Brett told to Jake about these stories. The textual analysis about Cohen, and I can't stand it to think my life is going so fast and I'm not really living it. Cohen says it in chapter 2. The analysis is here that Cohen verbalizes one of the key dilemmas afflicting the lost generation. He is also a victim of lost generation, though he has not wounded in the war, or he has not faced the war, but he still thinks that he himself is a veteran of lost generation. So there is a feeling of discontent in Cohen, as I have mentioned to you earlier, that for that purpose he used to go at the nightclubs and bars and at different gambling points and used to drink alcohol due to the discontented life. He is not satisfied with his life. Cohen must learn to live with his feeling of discontent. He learns to live that how to lead his life, lead his life in a busy way, his discontented life in a busy way. About Brett Ashley, it is quoted that she was built with the curves. That is here the writer Hemingway gives the personality characteristics of Brett Ashley. She was built with curves like that the hull of the racing yacht, and you missed none of it with that wool jersey. That when Jake says about Brett Ashley when he was praising her. So the analysis gives the points to us that the Brett is incredibly good looking. She was pretty much beautiful sort of lady, and having details of her figure, hair and clothing. Jake used to remember her at the different times of his life, when she was near him, when she was away to him, and when she was in love with him and when she was not in love with him. So the production of first 9 chapter, the development of the plot summary in first 9 chapter has been fulfilled with the all the action with the Brett Ashley, and describing the character faults of Brett Ashley, Jake and Cohen. He and Brett are clearly in love. The novel basically follows his attempts to be satisfied, but above all, Jake is not also not satisfied with his own sexual life here. So let's have a look on important quotations in this novel. So Brett says to Jake that, "Oh darling, I have been so miserable." This quotation represents the situation of Mr. Jake at that time, that having a boyfriend isn't enough, having a productive boyfriend is always even enough. So that's why Brad said that to Jake that you should have been productive for that purpose, because if you are important then you cannot fulfill the desire of a woman. And the next point, good night, Jake. Good night, darling. I wouldn't see you again. Brett Ashley says to Mr. Jake when she was living with her fiance, and she told him that she will not see him again, but that is the circulation of life. That is basically a panorama shot of life. That is all about life, that they again come across each other and the lost love again have a rebirth in their hearts, and they again attached in love with each other. I had the feeling as in the nightmare of it all being something repeated, something I had been through and that now I must go through again. Jake says these lines and he only wanna describes his situation to us, that he is also discontented with his life and he also wants some changes in his life. Hopefully that you have understood all the topics here, and we have discussed the brief summary of first 9 chapters. Then we have discussed the analysis of first 9 chapters, the critical commentary of first 9 chapter, and after that we have gone through about the clarification of the textual analysis of all the 3 main characters and important quotations. Hope that you have understand this lecture well. If there is some kind of discussion or question, you can ask to me in comments box below. And for more study readings and references, the books are here on your screen. You can get different sort of material from these books, and especially from Wikipedia, which gives us a brief but in-depth knowledge about this American novel, The Sun Also Rises. So that's it from my today's lecture. Hope that you have understood it all the things. And till the next lecture, it's goodbye from me, and stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.